Namaste, good morning. Welcome to the Dharma Yoga practice. It's about a 90-minute practice. Please, as always, practice in accordance with your conditions, your abilities, and respect your limitations. Please remember that this practice is meant to be an offering. So if you are, and how you're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody. So if you practice in a way that is mindful, that is conscious, that feels good to you, that will be transmitted to all beings. Likewise, if you go to a place of pain or suffering or anxiety, that will also be, imagine that all creation is feeling that as well. So on that note, that allows you to practice with a more deeper sense of consciousness and mindfulness. So on that note, let's begin. Close the eyes. Bring the attention within. At the moment of creation, that highest self, divinity, God, became part of all living beings. Merge with that divine, infinite essence that is within all beings and is everywhere. We begin with the Salavana 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're becoming one with all beings everywhere. Fix your mind on that alone. Rest your thoughts in that alone. And in that you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Refers again to the divine essence within. So now we'll do the Om Namah Shivaya, which means I bow to your light. Shivaya. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. We'll now do the mantra for purification to purify the space, the ground, and all the psychic channels within. If you know it, to do it with conviction, do it volume so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around us. And if you don't know it, just move your lips, pretend you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. You derive all the benefits of purification as though you're chanting perfectly. And if you ever want to learn the mantra, you can always message me and I'll send you the mantra. So let's do it now 3 times. Try to do each one in a single breath, if you know it. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Let's do spiritual breathing in order to connect with the divine essence within. Bring the arms up, the palms slightly turned up. From the fingertips, inhale down the fingertips to the arms into the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4. Feel yourself being flooded by all that you need. 6, 7, 8. Holding all the attention and the breath at the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms again, just the breath leaves. Everything you pulled in stays in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Bringing in everything you need through the arms into the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding in the spiritual heart now, hold the breath. Spiritual heart is in the center of the chest on the right side of physical heart. Exhale out through the arms again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Use your attention to attract everything that you need down into the spiritual heart. 3, 4. Feel it streaming in through the arms. 6, 7, 8. Holding it at the heart. Hold the breath there and the attention as always at the spiritual heart. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Let's do color breathing. This is helping to increase our aura. Think of the aura as a great big sphere around you, protecting you from the psychic attacks. This is negative energy that's directed towards you, whether unintentionally or intentionally. So you can imagine a big sphere of color surrounding you. This is what's protecting you from this. And we're concentrating on different areas of the body. So as you bring your attention there, imagine you're attracting all the healing energy, all the prana there. Your attention is like a magnet. And so you direct, when you bring an intention of healing, not only to yourself, to cure yourself of those physical ailments, but also impurities, but also to others as well. Remember that everything is meant to be shared. So starting off in the lower 3 chakras, at the base of the spine, the sacral area, and the navel. Imagine the whole area flooded by the color red. The sound is ah. Just allow the sound to ride the breath. Inhale. Even though the sound has disappeared, imagine that the sound and the vibration and that concentration on color is still doing its work. Next, go to the heart. The color is green. The sound is you, a little bit of a higher pitch this time. May this bring physical, spiritual, and emotional healing to the heart. Inhale. Next, we go to the throat, the base of the throat. The color is blue. The sound is so. Remember that any words that come from the throat always should be ones coming from a place of love and compassion and kindness. Inhale. So. We'll go next to the space between the eyebrows, the center of the forebrow. This is where the pituitary gland is located as well. So the pituitary gland is like the hub of the endocrine system. All the glands in the body, all the endocrine system is being purified and healed by this. So the sound is sun, S-U-N. The color is indigo. Imagine also that this vibration, the vibrations are produced by this sound, especially the latter part of the sound, the end part of the sound. Is these vibrations strong enough to dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're sitting in the body? Imagine them being dislodged from those vibrations, being brought out of the bloodstream, eventually being brought out of the body entirely. Inhale. Sun. Go now to the crown. The color is violet. The sound is sum. And the latter part of the sound is where you should focus most of the time in this sound. And this produces vibrations. Feel the whole top of the head vibrating. And this happens as well as like through the lips pressing together. So those vibrations produce those vibrations the effects of helping to bring about mental sharpness and clarity. Again, at the crown, the color violet. Inhale. Why is it important to have a clear and sharp mind? Is it because it helps us to cultivate discernment. Discernment is what helps us to eventually realize what our true self is, realize the nature of our true self, which is infinite, which is immutable, stainless. So just take a moment again to just bring your attention to the crown. Imagine the Guru within, always guiding you from within. And may this practice be an act of reverence towards the Guru, to whom we should feel grateful for all the knowledge that they impart to us. Try to see the Guru in each and every form. Each and every form, we pass through all experiences, we pass through all the forms. So we just try to tap into all the knowledge that each and every teacher provides us. So let this practice again be an active offering towards all our teachers, whatever form they might be in. So with that intention firmly ingrained in our heart and mind, let's come to standing and continue with the postures. So we'll start off with some warm-ups to prepare the body for the practice. Separate your feet about 10 inches apart. Start to swing from one side to the other. As part of the practice, help to loosen up the joints, warm up the joints, get the body moving. Start to move faster now. And then eventually pick up the speed until you feel all the joints in the upper body shaking, the head flying all directions, the arms dead light, and hit the body. Now slow it down. Bring the hands on the hips. Continue with the head circles. Large circles as possible. The chin brushing the chest. The ears come to the shoulders. The back of the head to the top of the back. If you feel comfortable do so, you can move the head a little bit faster. Move according to your condition as always. Now go in the opposite direction. Feels like we're very heavy, rolling all the way around the neck. Now, right arm up, left hand down. Going to spin the arms in opposite directions. So try to avoid thinking too much because you might end up swimming like this. So hands, one arm goes up, one arm is coming down, the other one's going up. Now left hand up, right hand down, switch directions. And then release. Bring the arms up over the head, take hold of the opposite elbows, bend to the left, and go to the right. Take your time with each side. Try to ensure that you're not making folds in the underside of the body. All the movement in the side direction so you don't hunch forward. Stretch along the whole left side body. Come back to the center. Now little circles over the head. Little circles to start with the head, neck, and shoulders mostly moving. And then gradually the circles get larger. The chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Starting to feel it in the waist and the hips. And then if you feel comfortable to do so, the whole torso circles. Use momentum, the downswing to carry through the circle smoothly. Try to get the forearms to touch the feet as they come across. And come all the way back up. And then in the other direction now. Starting again with little circles over the head. Squeeze your arms by the ears. Larger circles now. The chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Plant down the feet firmly. And then, if you like, you can turn the whole torso. Trace large circles in front of the body like the arms of a windmill spinning. And then coming right back up. And then release the arms. Shake up the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly. Like you have no control over the hands, moving all by themselves. And then up and down if you like you're shaking water off the fingers. Very, very fast. The next one requires us to tap into the inner child. Think of a lion sneezing. So the eyes roll back in the head, the tongue hangs out of the mouth. And we're doing squats as we do this, so come down as far as you can. Just be mindful again of the condition of the knees. And then coming back up. Good. Now, arms out to the side. If you like, you take the left hand on the wall or a chair. Swing the right leg back and forth. Try to get your knee right up to the shoulder by leaning forward a little bit. When the leg goes back, imagine that the toes are going to touch the back of the head. Maybe some of you can't do that already. And then the other side, left leg goes back and forth. Make the leg look like a pendulum swinging out of control. And then release. Bring the feet back together, the arms by sides of the body. One more for balance and for the core. So inhale, 2, 3. Lift up the heels, turn the palms up. 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. And down, 2, 3. Push it with your toes on the ascent. 2, 3. As you lift up the heels especially. 2, 3. And continue pushing with your toes as you come down. 2, 3. And lower the heels slowly. 2, 3. Inhale. Feel the arms moving all by themselves. Be the witness watching the body moving. 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Inhale. 2, 3. Turn the heels of palms up. Lift the heels. Charge the legs. Lengthen, hollow at the navel. Exhale. 2, 3. And down. 2, 3. Bring the chin back down to the chest in a gesture of humbleness. Stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits. Dedicate them to something higher and greater than just the satisfaction of your own desires and needs. Do it as though it were your divine obligation to all beings everywhere. So now let's come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara. Hands to the heart. Imagine you're being infused by the light and warmth of the sun, which represent the wisdom and the love of the highest self of God, and share that with all beings everywhere. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back, engage the buttocks and the upper back muscles to support you as you lean back. Now fold forward, bend your knees. If you need to, bring hands flat on the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank. Lower the knees, bring the seat all the way back immediately. And then glide forward, brushing the nose to the ground, elbows close to the body, come up, arch the back, take the head back. 2 more times, take the seats all the way back, glide forward. Pull at the floor as though you're trying to pull the floor towards you. This will propel your body forward with more power and ease. 1 more time. Take the seat back, glide forward. Push the chest forward, raise the head, take it all the way back over the seat. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat, allow the head to come down. If you're flexible, you might be able to tap your forehead to the ground. Then the right foot steps forward. If that's difficult, you can't make it all the way, you lower the left knee down. If the foot still doesn't make it all the way, you can bring the right hand to the foot and glide, push it forward. Now feet together, Uttanasana. Come right to stand, reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Modify the sequence if you need to. If you need to skip some movements, because some moves are difficult to make the transition. Have no judgment, just do your best. Left foot back, into the plank. Lower the knees, bring the seat all the way back. Glide forward. Remember, blessed are those who can imitate the form physically, copy the teacher. Imagine having a balanced range of motion like the serpent. Take the seats back. Twice blessed are those who can imitate the teacher physically and mentally. Be regal and wise like the serpent. 1 more time, take the seats back. Glide forward. 3 times blessed are those who can imitate the form physically, mentally, and spiritually. Tap into all the divine qualities. We all have them, each and every being. Into Adho Mukha Savasana. Allow the heart to melt, the head to come down again below the arms. Left foot steps forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Breathe naturally, move the body, the breath will follow and deliver more power and ease and grace to the movements. Right foot back. Into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest, forehead down. Come right through. When your hips come to your hands, lift the hips and knees away from the ground if you can. Upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. The right foot steps forward, drop down to the seat. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up over the head, and then come back home, hands to the heart. Tap into the consciousness of every movement. Open yourself up to divine grace. Bowing down as though in humility. Left foot back. Always ready for divine service. Surrender yourself to divine service. Knees, chest, forehead down. Come forward and up into upward facing dog. Hips and knees up off the ground if you can. Charge the legs. Back into downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up over the head. Come back home, hands to the heart. Building With each repetition, fold the body down, chest on the thighs. The right foot back. This time, do not drop the back knee down. Keep the back leg charged. Into the plank. Now you can do Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest, forehead down. If you're stronger, take the seat back without dropping your knees, your hips onto the ground, right into upward facing dog. You have to push through with your toes, pull the elbows into the sides of the body. Now stay here for a moment. Pulse a little bit. Try to get your shoulders back, the nose up. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pulse here as well. Bounce through the chest. Try to get your chest close to the ground. Try not to bend at the elbows. Keep your arms straight, but soft line from the fingertips all the way up to the seat. Look like a dog stretching its back. Now raise your right leg up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the foot between your hands. Big step, shoulders come over the fingertips so the foot lands softly. Back knee again stays lifted. Push up to the back heel. And then bring the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. And then come back home. Hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Push the hips all the way forward. Arch back as you see fit. Fold the body down in half. Uttanasana. Left foot back. Keep the back knee lifted if you can. Into the high plank. Again, Ashtanga Namaskara, or bring the seat back so you can make it right through into upward facing dog. No legs on the ground in the transition. Again, look like a dog howling at the moon. You have to visualize the form in your mind and try to realize it with your body. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Embody the loyalty of the dog to its master. Sink through the heart. Try to get your forehead, maybe even the nose and the chin come down for those who are very flexible. Now the left leg comes up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the foot between the hands, back knee again stays lifted. Push up to the back heel. And then the feet come together, Uttanasana, chest and the thighs, head down. Come right to standing, reach up, standing salutes. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Try to connect the movement seamlessly like you're doing a divine dance of love. This time, bend your knees, push your belly into your thighs, and send your hands up over your head. If you can, join them together. Push the seat all the way up. For those who are flexible, try to straighten your legs. Your shoulders come to the knees. The head comes close to the feet. Now, without touching fingers to the ground, glide the right foot back. Hold the breath as you glide the foot back. Lower the knee down. Right into Kapiyasana. Pulling your arms all the way up and back behind the head if you can. Arch the back. Push your chest up. Think of a monkey who's swinging from tree to tree. They have seemingly no bones in their arms, completely loosened with arms and shoulders. Now bring your hands down into the high plank. Ashtanga Namaskara again, or your entry into upward facing dog as you see fit, or cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg comes up, Ekapada. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Try to land the foot softly. No big heavy thumps on the ground. Soft movements. Pull the arms back. Remember, the practice is an offering to the teacher within, so try to make it as beautiful as possible. And then from here, lean into the front leg, belly on your thigh, hold the breath. The hands come behind the back. Feet come together. Uttanasana. The feet up, the head down. Come right up to standing. Reach up over the head. Arch back. And come back home. Hands to the heart. Every posture, divine offering. Raise your arms up. Reach up and back. Fold the body down. Bend your knees. Push your body into your thighs. Try to get your chest lower than the knees. Your shoulders right close to the knees as well. And then hold your breath. Left foot goes back without touching your fingers to the ground. Again, right up into Kapiyasana. You can keep your toes bent under the back if you like, that helps with your transitions. Push your chest up, loosen up the shoulders. Come back down, hands to the ground, step back into high plank. Again, your transition into upward facing dog or cobra. According to your abilities, reach up and back. And then back into downward facing dog. Left leg comes up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, and step the foot softly between the hands. All the transitions seamless, like you're doing a divine dance of devotion and love. Raise your arms up, pull the torso up out of the hips, and reach back. Arch the back. The chest comes up very high. And then from here, lean into front leg, swing your hands back. Without touching fingers to the ground, hold your breath. The right foot comes in to meet the left. Uttanasana. Bow down in zone humbleness. Come all into standing. Reach up over the head. Arch back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. The sequence again. Bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs, push the seat all the way up and back. The hands come over the head. Now a little bit faster. Bring the right foot back, knee down, right into Pranayama. Raise your arms up over the head. And then come right back down. Different transition this time if you like to try. Bring your left leg all the way up, Ekapada Anamukha. Come forward to your high plank. Your leg stays lifted as you make your way down with your chest first. Elbows in close to the body, push through your toes, lower your chest. If you need to, you lower the knee at the same time as the chest is lowering. Into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up, step the foot between the hands, back knee down. Think of a shape shift and move effortlessly between the forms and try to make yourself realize those transitions the same way. Swing your hands back behind your back, left foot meets the right, Uttanasana. Forehead to the shins if your legs are perfectly straight. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Come back home, hands to the heart. Bring your arms up, you have to keep visualize your body moving the way you want to see it move. Picture yourself in a practice you're trying to attain with constant practice and devotion. You will arrive. Left foot back, right into Kapayasana. Right back down. And here, if you want, again, swing the right leg all the way up and back, Ekapada. Come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. Lower down. You have to really push through the base of the toes of the left foot. Elbows come into sides of body. As soon as the chest comes down, the right foot comes down, right up into upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Left leg comes up. Send the foot between the hands. Back knee down. With constant practice and determination, the body learns all the tricks it needs to move into the poses efficiently and gracefully. The hands behind the back, join them together, feet together as well. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head, arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Good. Take a deep breath in here. From the heart to the crown, send love up there. Hold the breath. Imagine all the love that you put up there is going into all beings everywhere. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love, unconditional love towards all forms. And release. Good. So now we'll continue with some poses. Go to the back of the mat. Left foot forward. Reach down with the left hand. Fingertips about 14 or 16 inches in front of the foot. And then raise your right leg up. If your hand is too close to the foot, it might be difficult to open up the hip all the way. It also might be difficult to find the balance. Try to have your hip over the heel. And bring the right arm up, bring the right leg up higher. Look up towards the hand above you. So make sure your fingers are not just dangling. Keep them straight and together. All pay attention to the detail. And then bring the right hand down, lower the right leg a little bit, so that's about, or keep it the same height depending on your flexibility. Your foot's at the same height as the hip. Push the left shoulder back, turn your chest to the left. The left arm comes up. If it's too difficult to raise your arm, you can keep it on your seat. And keep on trying to push the left shoulder back in line, right on top of the other one. Make sure you keep extending through the right leg. Now bring the left hand down, walk your hands back close to the foot. The left hand comes right on the ankle. Bend your left knee if you need to bring your belly on your thigh. Raise your right leg up higher. And bit by bit, you try to bring your right hand closer and closer to the foot. Maybe some of you can get your hand right on the foot. Hold the breath. The hip should be right in line with your heel. Gaze a little bit beyond the toes. Now, bring the right hand down and bring the right foot down. Come back up. We'll try it on the other side now. So the left foot steps forward. The right hand comes down in front of the foot. Again, give yourself enough distance so you can get your left leg up and open up the hip. Bring the left arm up. Turn to the side completely. Look up at the head above you. Point the toes, fingers together on the left hand. Now bring the left hand back down. Lower the left leg. It should look like you're lying on the table. Straight line from the head all the way to the foot. And then turn to the right. Again, if it's too difficult to lift the right arm up because your shoulder, any shoulder limitations, you can keep it on the seat. Otherwise, raise the right arm up. Turn your body completely sideways. And then bring the right hand down. Pull the left leg up as high as you can. Walk your hands back. The right hand comes to the foot. The index finger pressing against the outside heel. And then raise the left leg up high as you can. And then from here, bend your right knee if you need to get your belly with your thigh. Keep the belly and the thigh together. Walk the left hand in. And if you can, eventually on the foot, index finger of the left hand on the inside of the right foot. The gaze again beyond the toes. And then break the pose. Bring the left foot back down. Tuck the chin in and roll your way up. Now, charge the body. From the legs, from the arms, bring your energy all the way up. Right through the body to the crown. Exhale, send it all the way throughout the body. Feel recharged. Good. And now, let's continue with another pose. Start ballet pose. Standing on the left foot. Take hold of the foot, right foot from the inside. The thumb behind the heel. Bring the leg and arm at the same time. Fingers and toes on the same line. Might look like a letter T. Maybe look like a letter Y if your leg more flexible. Bring the foot up higher, flex the foot. Lean a little bit to your left and get your legs, you can get the leg higher without losing the line between your fingers and the toes. You can look up, embody the grace and the poise of a dancer. You become what you believe. Magnificent, poised, and there you go, joyful to share your art. Be very flexible. You can take the foot with your left hand, push the foot up. Your leg is right, knees right against the shoulder. You can take the right arm out or keep it on the foot. So wherever you're at with your flexibility, go to the edge of your potential. Try your best. And so you continue to push the edge further and further. You advance your practice. Now from here, release the foot carefully. Lean to your left so that the leg doesn't come dropping down heavily. Let's go right into gliding eagle. Bend your left knee. Sweep your arms out to the side. Like you're a gliding eagle. Your head comes about the height of the knee. Try to get your foot higher than the head. Imagine you're soaring down from a great height at great speed. Again, visualize the eagle in your mind and become that image. Good. Now come up. One more. Angel. If you can't keep your leg up, pull the arms up to the side like the wings of an angel. Push your chest forward, bring your head back. Look up. So you say, I'm ready to deliver your messages, God. And then break the pose. For that pose, if you lose your balance, you can always just bring your toe down. Okay. Now, try again on the other side. The right foot anchors down. Take hold of the left heel from the inside and bring the foot out and the arm out at the same time. Find the pose that's suitable for you, so either at the height of the shoulder or maybe higher. Flex the foot, open up, look up. Good. Every pose, remember, offered up. Renounce all the fruits. Imagine this. Do the practice because it must be done for the well-being of all beings. Good. Now again, if you have the flexibility, you can bend your knee, take the foot with your left hand, and then the right hand comes across the front of the foot. Take hold of the outer edge of the foot. Bring the foot all the way up. And take your left arm up if you like. Push against the inside of the leg. Again, depending on your flexibility. It's not for everybody, of course. Go according to your experience. Now from here, carefully hold your breath. Engage leg muscles so the leg doesn't come crashing down. And then right into a graceful transition into eagle. Plunge the head down. Imagine you're skimming the surface of the ocean. Pull your arms back. Fly like that bird freely. Eventually you emerge as a form and you take on all the qualities. And then that's when you find the stillness, the ability to meditate, to come into divine union with that form. Now from here, press into your left foot, hold the breath, come up again. Angel. Spread your wings, pull your arms back. If you can, keep your foot up. And bring your chest forward, your head back. Look up as though, again, you're ready to offer yourself up fully for divine service. Break the pose, bring the left foot down. Okay, one more. Standing on your left foot. I like balance poses because they challenge the body a little bit, and they also demand some concentration. Bring the right foot up, take hold of the ankle, and if you're more beginner level, you can just stay like this. Or you can place your hand on a wall if you need to. And as you lean forward, you push the foot away from the seat. Bend your left knee a little bit so you can sink a little bit more weight into your left foot. And you push the foot out. Now those who are more flexible and have good balance can pull your heel in towards the seat first. Take hold of the left hand to the foot and push it back out. Standing bow pose. If you're very flexible, you can take the overhead version if you know it. Okay, so you take the foot from the outside and you bring the elbow up. Make sure you're aware of your joints limitations. Be careful of your shoulder. Don't go to a place of pain or suffering. This is not what you're going to transmit. So this is another beautiful form. Those who know it can go ahead. Now break the pose. Bring the foot back down. Try it on either side. Left leg, knee comes up. Take hold of the ankle. Start up here and then lean forward a little. Bend your right knee. Push your foot away from the seat. And once your foot's far away as possible, then you can straighten out the right leg. Engage muscles below and above the knee. Thigh level to the ground. If you want, again, you can take your right hand to the foot, and push the foot up. Try to have your toes on the same line as the head. Or the more advanced version, your thumb pressing the base of the toes, wrap around the outside of the foot. Your other fingers wrapping around the outside of the foot. Pull the elbow up. You can do it with one or both hands. Fix your gaze. Break the pose. Wherever you are is perfect. And whatever you don't achieve in this lifetime, you pick up in the next lifetime. You start where you left off here. So you try to go as far as you can in this life so that you're already in an elevate. You can keep going. Okay, so next sequence. Stand in the middle of the mat, facing out the long edge of the mat. The fingertips in line with your elbows. Jump or walk your feet apart. Look to your left. Bend your left knee. Sink down to the seat. So again, be mindful of your knowledge of the practice. If you don't quite know the movement and you're stiff in the joints, you have to be careful. Don't go to a place of pain and suffering. All creation is feeling it through you. So be conscious of what you're doing. Be strong and mighty. Enter into the consciousness of a warrior now. Bring the right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadasana 1. Take the head back. This is a pose that expresses abject surrender and devotion to the people that you serve. Now from here, move back into Virabhadasana 2. Take your hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, pull the hands down, lift the head, bring the head back. If you feel comfortable, you're going to move into humble warrior. So make sure the back foot is flat. You can push your hip back, but try not to lift it You want to keep your hip on the same line as the knee, so when you come down, the head can come closer to the ground. That's humble warrior, surrender. If it's too much, you can bring the left knee down, like so. The hip underneath the knee, underneath the hip, and pull the hands over the head. Remember, it's the effort that's most important, not the results. Just do your best. Now from here, hold your breath, press into your feet, lift your head, lower the knee down, turn forward. Sink your seat all the way forward, right into Kapyasana once again. Rock your shoulders back and forth, push your chest up. If this is too much, you can take your hands on your seat, push down in the seat, and push the fingertips up. Try to shape your back body so it's nice, smooth curve, no wrinkles in the skin underneath your hands. Pull the elbows towards one another. Those who are flexible can take your arms over the head. You can maybe bend your arms. Bring your fingers, your wrist right underneath the head. Bring a foot up so you might be able to catch the foot. You have to have your seat nice and low so you don't lose your balance. Other variation here, you can turn to the right. Slide your right hand down towards the foot, left hand on the knee. Lean away from the leg. This is the start. Eventually you can take the foot up. Press it against the inside leg, Kuntasana. It's the next form. Next progression. You can pull the elbow close, the foot close to the shoulder. Lean towards the foot a little bit. Fingers should be close to the ear so that when the left hand comes across, it can find the fingers more easily. Then turn the wrist away from you. Lift the wrist. Look up. Push the head, the arm to the outside left of the head. And push the foot away from the shoulder. Sink your seat. Now break the pose. If your foot is up, bring the foot down. From here, we're going to move into lizard. If you want to move your left foot to the edge of the mat, bend your toes under your back foot and scooch back and forth. Lift the hip a little bit so that, and the knees, so you can scooch back and forth. Feel the hips getting heavier with each pass. Push back to the right foot one more time. Lower the knee, flatten out the toes. Make sure that the knee is in the same, the shin is vertical. So shin upping forward, your heel, your left heel should be down. Slide the right foot back if you need to. If you're low enough with your hips, you can fall onto your right elbow, your right hip. Roll back to your left. Both sides your hips are down. If you're too far from the ground, the hips, stay on your hands, but keep sinking your hips down. Think of a cobra pose. Think of the hips as the anchor for the body. When the hips are down, the rest of the body will follow more easily. Very flexible, you can come right down. Make sure, again, your knee's not falling away from your shoulder or the foot's not sliding away from the knee. So keep the shin in the same line, vertical. If you're all the way down, you can take your arms out, or left arm goes underneath the leg from the outside, over the back, the right hand comes over the back, you join the hands together. Now become the lizard, just sunning itself on the warm earth. There's a time to be still in the pose, where you can try and merge with the form. Now break the pose, come back onto the hands. Turn this way again. Bring your seat back, lift the toes up on the left foot. The right foot can come in a little bit towards the left. Bow to the leg. Bring your belly onto your thigh. Telescope your chest towards forward so that eventually you try to imagine the chest going beyond the knee. Even here in these poses, you direct your attention where you want to find release. That's where the prana would go. Think of your prana as, think of your attention as a strong magnet. Now, if this is too easy for you, you can bring your hips all the way forward. Bring your right foot back in line to your right knee. And start to push the left heel forward. A straight line from the back knee to the front knee. Keep your seat forward. Try to bring your hands alongside your hips so you don't come forward too much. Your shoulders over the hips eventually. And then just pulse mindfully, not too aggressively. Be mindful again so you don't overstretch. If you're all the way down, You take whatever version you like. Now embody all the qualities of Hanuman, the devotion, the faith, and the courage. This pose says anything is possible. Think of Hanuman leaping over the island of Sri Lanka, like the story says that where you made that great leap, and this pose reflects that leap, or it represents that leap. Now break the pose. From here, push into your fingertips, lean forward, drag the left foot back, so it's underneath the knee. Come upright, bend the toes under the back foot. Parivrita Pashukanasana. Hands on the hips, you should be able to lift your left foot up. If it comes up easily, it's well placed. Now, Parivrita Pashukanasana. The right arm up. Push the ankle, the foot and the knee towards the right, same line. Try to get your arm on the outside of the knee, the shoulder against the knee, the armpit on the outside of the knee if you can even. Left hand pushes into your right, and you push hard so that the belly comes higher than the thigh. The belly is over the thigh so that when you spin to your left, you're not obstructed by your thigh. Center of the chest comes towards your thumbs if your body's higher than the thigh as well. If you want to take a bind, you push the seat back, so you give yourself a little bit more space. Use the left hand to slide the head underneath. This is why you want to have the armpit on the knee, on the outside of the knee. Left hand goes over the back, you join your hands underneath the belly or your thigh. Last action, you can take the knee up off the ground, push into the toes, and you can do this even if you don't have a bind. You can do this with your hands still in Anjali Mudra. Straight line from the heel all the way to the crown and continue to twist until your face and chest are turned up. Now break the pose. Come back on your hands. This way, facing wrong. So it's not facing the wrong way. Now spin on your foot, your feet face the wrong edge of the mat. Come back up. Go to the other side now. Turn to the right. Try to get a little bit lower in the hips if you're flexible. Come forward. The sense again of purpose, no hesitation to do your duty. Virabhadrasana 1. Bring your arms up over the head. Make sure the left hip is turned as far forward as possible. If you can't turn your hip, you can lift the heel if you need to. Again, modify according to your abilities, according to your conditions. Back to warrior 2. From here, humble warrior. The hands come behind the back. Left foot back a little bit. Pull the hands down. Lift the chest. Bring the head back. And as you go forward, push the hip, right hip back. Make sure the outer edge of the left foot is grounded. And come forward. Dive down. The head right beside the foot in the full expression of the pose. The hands over the head. If you need to, bring the left knee down, scooch it forward so it's underneath the hip. And you can bend your toes under it. Express the humbleness of the warrior, complete abject surrender to the act of protecting their people. Now press into your feet, hold the breath, come up halfway, lower the back knee down, turn forward. Kapiyasana. Push your chest up, try to get your arms all the way back. Lift your chest away from the seat. If this is too much again, use the modification of your hands on your seat, pull down the seat, push the fingertips up, and create space in the lower back. Take all the wrinkles out of the skin on the back of the body. If you have the flexibility, you can do those variations. Your seat is nice and low. You can drop your hands down behind your head, and then pull the foot up. And then you might put the front foot. Okay, you can bring one hand so that keep one hand on the ground as you're doing this. You can keep your balance. The foot can come to the head, perhaps. If that's not quite there yet, turn to your left. Slide your left hand down towards the foot. Lean away from the leg. Keep your side body curved. Or take your left foot up, close to the shoulder. push against the inside of the left arm, or hinge the arms, so the fingers are close to the ears, your shoulders close, your foot's close to the shoulder until they lock your fingers together, and then push your foot away from your shoulder. Break the pose. Pull the heel in toward the foot in towards the shoulder. Allow the left foot to come down, and then move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Turn forward. Scoot back and forth. And then eventually push through the back heel one more time. Lower the knee down. If your hips are low enough, you can fall to your left. Get on your left forearm. Roll back to the right. You try to get your back lower than the knee. And the knee stays vertical, close to the shoulder. Keep telescoping your body out of the hips. Make as though the hips were attracted to the ground by a large magnet. And if you know the variations, go ahead. Full expression of the pose, you can take a bind. Or the arms outstretched, like a T. Wherever you are, just become one with the form if you can. Try to tap into all the divine qualities. Break the pose, come back onto the hands. Send your seat back. Then rise the back knee. Bring your left foot in if you like, and lift the toes on the front foot. Ardha Hanumanasana, bow to the leg. Keep your attention at the base of the spine. Imagine the spine lengthening from its source. Maybe eventually the top of the head will come right against the foot. And if this is too easy, bring your left foot again in line with the left knee. Bend the toes under your back foot. Hinge forward at the hip. Try to get your hips forward like you're doing a lunge again, and start to slide your right foot forward, but then come right back upright. Your fingers alongside your hips, and keep pulse a little bit. Mindfully again, try to get bit by bit lower. Feels all the hips again were very heavy. Perhaps they'll come down. And again, you can take whatever expression of the pose you like. Arms over the head, or maybe you like to lean forward. You're very flexible. You can bring a forehead on the ground or the inside of the leg. Whatever you like. Whatever you're doing, make it an offering. Now break the pose, bring the hands down, bend the toes under the back foot. Slide the right foot back. Right underneath the, so the heel is underneath the back of the knee. The legs like a box. You can do the test again or try to lift the foot up. And if it comes up easily, you know it's in the right place. Left arm up. Go to the right armpit again on the outside of the knee. Hands together. Don't stay here with your hands close at the shoulders and your body trapped against the legs. Push the right hand to your left, the belly higher than the thigh, and then spin. Turn the chest and face up. Pull the right hip back, the head forward. You can take the back knee up off the ground if you like. Now sometimes it's easier to take a bind from here because you have more space. You don't have the knee in the way. So you can try it here as well. You have to push to the base of the toes. Keep your legs strong. Move the thighs towards one another. And then try to move your armpit on the outside just to rest on the outside of the knee. Right hand can assist the left arm to go underneath. Right arm comes over the back. Pull the hands out if you need to. Lock your fingers or join your hands together. Push the right shoulder back. Keep on practicing. Keep on moving. Angry determination and constant practice. Now break the pose. Bring hands back to the inside. Spin around to alongside of the mat. Move it this way. Go from here. Arms out to the side. Come up. Easy chakrasana. You can move your feet in a little bit so that your heels are inside the mat. The toes are beyond the edge of the mat. Hands on the seat. Bend your knees come over the toes, push your hands into your seat and drag them down. So keep pulling your seat down. And then slowly bring your head back. Don't go too fast, especially if you have low blood pressure. Be careful so you don't get dizzy and lose your balance. If you're okay here, you can bring your hands down. The hands, heels, your palms just below the knees, and then push into the backs of the legs. Push hips all the way forward. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. If you're more flexible, you can walk your hands all the way down. Some of you might be able to step on your fingers with your heels. Some of you might even be able to go to Urdhva Dhanurasana, making sure you can see the ground first. The right hand comes over the head, finger comes down, and then the left hand comes down beside it. To come back, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring your hand, but come back the same way. Bring one hand to the back leg, push into the back of the leg, right close to the knee, underneath the knee. Hold your breath, and then take your other hand. Make sure your feet are anchored down. And then make your way the rest of the way up. So hand comes up, the hands walk up the backs of the legs, push into your seat as you're coming up, chin into your chest. Arms out to the side, Prasarita Padottanasana. Pull the heels out, hinge forward. Now you can take hold of the ankles, or step on your fingers with your edges of your feet. Pull the head right in between your feet. If you're more flexible, try to get your head further through in between. Eventually, maybe your chest comes behind your legs. Lift your shoulders up. Try not to round your back. Keep straight. From the seat all the way down to the crown. Now, those of you who want can come into an inversion here. Some might come into a headstand with your hands, fingers behind the heels, your arms at right angles. And from here, press into your hands and you can straddle your legs up. If you want, you can try a forearm balance. Bring your arms down, lift your head. Make sure your elbows are far enough forward so that you can come up. It's a little bit trickier to get harder. It requires more core to come up from here. So push forward into your hands, into your forearms, and you can see you can come up from here. Again, according to your abilities, you don't have to stay there long, just about 10 seconds. And then come back down. As you're coming down, engage the core, especially when your feet come closer to the ground, so that your feet can land at the same place. Now from here, get ready to come back up. Arms up to the side, press into your feet, and come all the way up. Now from here, jump or walk your feet back together. Mountain pose. Come into the mountain consciousness. Steady, unshakable, unmovable in your devotion to serve through the practice. Charge the body from the fingertips, from the toes. Inhale all the way up the legs, up with the arms, and then up through the spine to the crown. Imagine lights just coming in through the arms and legs, right through the skin, right up. Exhale, send the lights everywhere throughout the body. Feel illuminated in every way. Now, plank pose. You can fall into plank from up standing. Make sure your hands in front, look behind, look beyond your hands as you come forward. If you have any wrist issues, just lower down on your knees and make your way into your plank. If you're coming from up here, hold your breath. Land your hands a little bit further forward than your, so that you can land solidly. Now from here, left hand moves towards the right. Come into side plank. Make sure you're not dropping into the shoulder or sagging to the hips. If this is happening, just lower the left knee down and do it from here. Don't hurt the shoulder. Keep the left arm firm and strong, fully extended. Come back to the plank, go to the other side. So you spin towards the left, the right hand comes a little bit to the left and from the nose, straight line from hand to hand, and from feet to head. Come back down. From here, lower the knees down. Sit back on your feet And from here, depending on your condition, your knees, you just walk your hands back as far as you can. Allow the head to drop back. If you're more flexible, you can come and sit. You open up your heels so you can sit between the heels. And you can move back if you can. Come onto your forearms. Tilt and lift your seat. Tilt it forward a little bit so the spine stays long and not crunched. In the lower back, if you can, come right down onto your back. Hold the opposite elbows off the head. Bring the thighs together if you can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Let go of all effort. Let go of all expectations and all attachments for results. Now from here, bring your hands onto your heels. If you're on the ground, push it against the feet. Push into your elbows. Lift your back, your head up off the mat, and make your way back. One more try of Vasisthasana. So if you know variations, you can do the variations now. If not, you stick with what you did before. Either a side plank or the modified side plank like this. If you're modified side plank, you need to lift your right leg up and take hold of the foot. So we're going to the right first, standing on the left hand and left foot. If you want to try the variations, push your feet up like you're doing a down facing dog. And I find this helps when you're moving into the pose, the hips are already high. You slide your right toes back, you keep spinning on your left foot. The foot should be on the same line to the rest of the leg, not turn too much, no more than 30 to 45 degrees. Push your hip all the way up. Left arm fully extended, inside edge of the foot is grounded. You might need to bring your left foot in a little bit to do that, so you can lift the right foot up off the ground. If you can, catch the knee. If you want that experience, if you have more flexibility, take hold of the foot. Wherever you are, again, is perfect. Just try your best. Visualize yourself moving into the pose. At some point, the body will obey. Now break the pose. Try it on the other side. Spin back the same way as you came into it, gracefully. Spin on the foot. Come back into downward facing dog and make your way on the other side. So spin on the head, keep your hip up, keep your right arm fully extended, and as you slide your left foot back, turn the right foot. So again, the foot does not turn, should no toes on the same line as the rest of the leg. Anchor down to the inner edge of the foot, the right foot, and push your hips all the way up. Your hand just should be in front of the shoulder a little bit, and then you will take your left foot up off the ground more easily. Catch the knee or catch the foot if you have the flexibility. Keep your hip up. Break the pose. Same way as you entered. Now from here, jump right to your hands. Lift your heels, bend your knees, jump forward. Come into squatting pose. Push the backs of your arms into the inner thighs, the wrists at the height of the elbows. So now we're getting ready for Kakasana, crow pose or crane pose if you're more familiar with the practice. If you're doing crow pose, your arms stay bent, your hands in front of the feet. You just tilt forward by lifting the heels. Keep pressing the inner legs against the arms. The knees should be close to the shoulders, right against the shoulders. Keep your head up when you're starting. Hold your breath, and then so you can pull your toes away from the ground. Okay, so if you keep your head up, you straighten your arms, push firmly into the ground. You won't go into a nosedive. So you have to do this slowly. Don't catapult yourself into it because you'll land right on your nose. If you're more proficient, you can do Bakasana. Your arms stay straight. Your knees come right into your armpits. And your shins start resting on the backs of your arms, but then you pick up your feet. Those who want to come into your headstand or teddy bear from here, so if you're in crane pose, you have to push into your hands, bend your elbows, tuck your chin in, bring your head down. If you're in Kakasana, it's a little bit easier. Your leg arms are already bent, so just tip down, tuck your chin in, and your forehead might come down. So from here, you can stay in your teddy bear, or if you feel comfortable, you can come up into your headstand with your legs straight up. If you're comfortable, or split. Again, do according to your condition, your abilities. Don't go to a place of anxiety.
The mind will not find any stillness. And from here, if you're up in your headstand, come back. If you want, you try to land your legs on your arms again. Flex your feet, hold the breath. Take a head up. And come back down. Okay, so nice, smooth transition. From here, child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll your way up. So those who didn't try the headstand or inversion that time, you can do it now. So again, those who know how to get into headstand, go ahead. You don't have to wait for me. And once you find the pose, try to bring your mind to stillness. Bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows. Leave the body alone. If you have a lotus, you do your lotus. A full lotus, not anything below that. So if you can't cross both legs, just stay straight with your legs up. Okay, so otherwise, if you need some guidance on how to get into it, you can bring your feet against the chair, the base of the chair, or the wall. Also, if you like, take hold of your opposite elbows. It should be right underneath your shoulders, right in front of your knees. Then don't move your elbows. Bring your hands forward, interlace your fingers, and place your head between your palms. Walk your feet towards the elbows. You can start by just trying to lift your seat up as much as possible. Lift your heels. If you're more flexible and your feet can come close to your elbows, eventually your seat will come almost in line with your elbows and your shoulders, your thighs against your body. If it gets to this point, your feet will almost want to come up by themselves. Your hips are over the shoulders, you engage your core, come all the way up. Of course, you don't start with your legs coming up straight first. You can bend your knees. Much easier to keep your balance with your legs bent and your feet stay flexed, so as to keep your muscles engaged. So you can do this one, or you can come into the teddy bear from the ground. So if you found it a little bit too tricky to come in from the crow pose, your hands come beside your knees, your head in front of the knees. Make sure your hands are not beside your head, they should be more beside your knees. Lift up your seat, walk your feet forward as close as possible to your wrists, so you can land just underneath the knees against your elbows. And you just pull your toes away from the ground. Not much can go wrong here. You have 3 points of strong contact against the ground, and you just place your toes down if you don't feel comfortable. So that you can bring your feet up. Your knees on the backs of your upper arms. And from here, you can again try to come into your split version. 1 foot all the way behind, the foot dropping towards the ground. Keep your legs very bent at the beginning. It's easier again to keep the balance when you're compact, and if you fall out of the pose, your feet are already close to the ground, so the impact is not as hard. Eventually, from here, you come onto your fingertips. Those who are proficient practitioners, you want to move into other variations, you can. And try to displace your arms if you like. Split your legs. You can change arm positions. Hold your breath as you're doing this. Arm beside your head. Hands in front. Keep your hands behind. You have to fall back a little bit. Catch yourself. So whatever you want to do. 30 more seconds. Or you can see if you can come onto your index fingers. Pull the hands away from the fingertips away from the ground one by one. Or you can try to lift up one hand. Okay, so just practice getting your finger up off the ground. Hold your breath. And keep pushing through your feet. Now come back down. Relax. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Come back up. Bring your legs in front. Scooch the front of the mat. And here, if you need to take a few rolls, come back into baby paw. You can. Just roll. Throw your legs over your head. And then maybe on a third try, your legs come up, bring your hands to your back so that your seat stays up when your feet go behind the head. If you need to stay here, this is where you're at, you can stay here. If you want to go into shoulder stand, bring your hands behind your back first, join your hands together, move your arms all the way back behind you so that from in front, you can't see your arms anymore. Your wrists are together, your elbows are close. And then you bring your hands onto your back. This will help you find a straighter line when you come up. Bring the one leg up first, and then follow with the other leg. Try and get your toes up as high as you can until your toes are over the chin, same line. Legs are straight, unless you want to do a lotus. Full lotus again, not a half lotus. Use your hands to help if you need to. And then try to push your knees all the way up. You have to push your hips forward. You're doing a lotus. You can bring your hands onto your thighs if you know that variation. Once you're in the pose, close your eyes. Direct all your attention to the center of the forebrow, the seat of divine perception. Try to trigger divine bliss by bringing all your attention and devotion there, merging with the supreme divine witness within. Now from here, moving into flower pose. If your legs are straight, if you have a lotus, you can keep a lotus. Bring your thighs against your body. If you know Pindasana, you can go ahead. Wrap your arms around the outside of the legs. Join your hands just underneath your seat. Your knees on either side of the head. Alternatively, if you have a flower pose instead, you can still bring your thighs against your body. And your knees drop right beside your head. If you're very flexible, the knees might come closer, maybe even on the ground in front of your shoulders. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deep within beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. These are not you. Right now, bring your hands behind the back, palms down, and slowly roll out. Keep your legs close to the body as you're coming down, so you don't come out fast and hard. And once your seat comes down closer and closer, you bring your hands closer together, thumbs together, the index fingers together, and then your seat lands on your wrists. Bring your legs until they're halfway down, 45 degrees to the ground. And then from here, push into your lower arms, lift your back up off the ground. Pull your elbows in a little bit closer behind the heart. Push your chest up, shoulders back. Bring the top of the head down. If it's too much, bring the legs all the way down to the ground. Fish pose. Breathe very fast through the nose. Now bring your feet down close to your seat. If you're in fish pose, just pull your feet in close to your seat. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Take your hands up from underneath. Bring your fingertips in front of your head on either side of the head. Fingers are facing away. Now lift your seat up off the ground, push into your fingertips, pull your head back a little bit more so that your head's closer to your feet, and turn your hands around, fingers facing the heels, slightly turned out. You can stay here. If you can, take your head up off the ground. Urdhva Dhanurasana. If this is too much for you, just keep in your bridge pose. Back head on the ground, the shoulders on the ground as well. Just lift your seat. Try to get your chest to be right against your chin. So if you're doing bridge pose, it looks like this. You push into top shoulder, top head on the mat, and you try to get your chest right against your chin. Your knees are behind your toes, not over your toes. You need to bring your chest all the way forward. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can do whatever you want. Lift up the heels, stretch. Try to get your chest in front of your arms. Try to straighten your arms and legs as much as possible. Angry determination. Good. Advanced practitioners, you want to try to raise, say, your left leg up. And see if you take your right hand, come onto your index finger of the right hand. Eventually you might be able to take your hand right on the ground onto your left side. Or your right side, I guess. And of course you do it on the other side. So the right leg comes up. Try to get just on one finger on the left hand, the index finger. Not too much weight on the finger. Push your hips all the way up. Push into the right hand. Hold your breath. So you can take your hand up off the ground. Oops. Lost it that time here. So push into your hand. And so you can take your left hand up. Now lower down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine your legs straighten, flop. Even here you offer this up. Every part of the practice has its purpose. Balance out the strength and the drive with the softness and surrender. Now from here, slide your left foot in, bring the right leg up. Knee to the shoulder, hold the ankle and pull the leg towards the head. Try to straighten your leg, drop the right hip, both sides of the torso are long, same length. If you're very flexible, well actually, so first, if you can slide your left leg straight. You're very flexible, you might be able to get your leg to slip to the right a little bit. So the leg's just on the outside of the body, the knees and the armpits, and you take the foot to the ground beside your head. If you are very tight hamstrings, again, you just drag your left foot in, keep your left foot flat on the ground, and just keep on trying to direct your attention to where you want to find a release. That's where the prana will go. Now bend your knee, the right knee, and take the right knee down to the ground. Half happy baby pose. If you're more flexible, you can see you can get your right shoulder in front of the knee. Push into the back of the knee, try to get your knee up higher. If you want, you can try to lift your left knee up, bring it right into the shoulder. Now from here, you lift your back up off the ground, your shoulders in your head, push the foot back. Those of you who are very flexible, you know what to do. Leg behind the head. Pull on the foot, try to get your leg behind your head. So you lift your shoulders and head up high enough, you just wriggle a little bit. Keep on wriggling until you find your way into the pose. Eventually you can straighten out the left leg. If you're flexible, get both legs up. Push the left arm against the back of the knee, cross the ankles, pull the legs a little bit straighter, and bring your head in between, in front of your feet. So this is a full pose here, Yoga Nidra. If you find a way in here, just breathe from the solar plexus up to the crown and back down. Imagine all the power residing in your solar plexus. Go to the crown and send it out to all beings. And then come back and keep on drawing more power up to Shirotechman. Now, if you did the one leg, wherever you're at, you can do the other side now. If you're in that Yoga Nidra, you can stay there if you like. So you bring the left leg up now. And if you need to, you bend the right knee, slide it closer in. Take hold of the left ankle. Start with your knee and the shoulder, feel leg bent, and then start to pull the leg straighter. If you feel you can straighten out the right leg flat on the ground. You're very flexible. Again, you can try to bring your left foot down beside your head. And then half happy baby pose, pull the foot up. Shin is vertical. And your foot is in line with the knee, so it shouldn't be falling out to the side. It should be right over the knee. And then from here, if you want to keep going, you push the right arm, left arm against the back of the knee. Push the knee up as high as you can. Bring the right knee up. And from here, lift the head up off the ground. going foot towards the right. You can get your foot behind the head. And then if you can find that your way in there, you can maybe extend the right leg eventually. And these are more advanced variations. Do according to your condition. Remember, this is always just possibility or just stay here. So don't go, be mindful in your practice as always. And then release. The left leg comes down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's do a twist right from here. Arms out like a T. Bring your legs up. Like reverse table. Bring the left leg across. If you can, you can hook your foot on the back of the right leg. Garudasana. And then bring your feet to the right. And bring your knees all the way down to the right. Try to find a position that allows you to feel the stretch all along the back of the body, especially your lower back. So you can move your knees closer to the right elbow if you like. And you can use your right hands to hold the knees down. Make sure the left shoulder stays on the mat. Come back to the front or the middle. Switch your legs around. The right leg goes over top. If you like, you put the foot. Not necessary, not important. If it happens, it happens. If you can make it happen easily, then go ahead. Bring your feet to the left and drop your feet down, and then the knees. If your right shoulder starts to fall or it starts to lift from the ground, keep stretching the right arm out. Try to anchor the back of the shoulder down. Move your knees, your body to where you can feel the stretch in the back body all along the spine. And then come back, Shavasana. Separate your feet, bring your arms a little bit closer in, palms facing up. And just surrender all effort. Let go of all tension. Imagine all the muscles instantly dissolved. The body becomes heavy. Make yourself fully receptive. Surrender physically, mentally, emotionally. And this allows you to come into a state that makes you more receptive to receiving the best of the best. Imagine that it's happening now. All that you need coming in like great beams of light, coming right in through the pores of the skin, infusing you with all that goodness. Imagine it's coming from all beings everywhere who's doing the same thing as you are, offering themselves up for service. Be grateful for them and believe that all beings are wanting to do this as well, always trying to share the best. And even if they don't have that intention, love them anyway, have compassion for them anyway. For they will gradually learn the knowledge that they need and the knowledge to comport themselves in a way that doesn't bring about pain and suffering to others. Set for them a good example through your own actions and thoughts and words. Make yourself a reflection of God. Bring yourself in the image of God who is infinite in love, wisdom, compassion. Now
Say to yourself 3 times the following sentences. Ingrain this idea in your heart and mind. I see God in all beings. If the idea of God doesn't quite resonate with you, you can say, I see divinity, or I see the great power, wherever you want to say, the great force in all forms. Just something that, again, brings you into a state of reverence and love towards all beings, not just your family and friends. Say that to yourself 3 times mentally. And prepare now to carry that out into your day-to-day life. Now prepare to sit. The practice doesn't stop when you leave the mat. It continues in your day-to-day life and all your interactions. We close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it out to all beings. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to all the grace, divine grace within. Keep radiating your light to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Sending much love to each and every one of you. Until next time, namaste.